Just when you thought the NHL offseason was getting boring, the Pittsburgh Penguins go out and pull off the biggest trade of the summer, the biggest trade we've seen in a very long time. And this one is coming from Cervali here. Sources say the Sharks have traded Erik Karlsson to Pittsburgh, working on the details. We now have all the details, and I'll get into that after. But now I wanted to say there is a third team. The Montreal Canadiens are involved in the trade, and we have the details on what they've acquired. The Canadiens have reacquired Jeff Petry, Casey DeSmith, Nathan Lagar, and the Penguins' second-round pick in 2025 in exchange for Mike Hoffman and Rem Pitlick. Now, you're not supposed to have bias against NHL players, but if you're a Montreal Canadiens fan, you are loving this. Now, I know Jeff Petry has a few years left at whatever. Now, I know he is being retained 25% by the Penguins or the Sharks, one of the two. He is going to be retained 25%. That might show up in the details later, I'm not sure. But we have got rid of Mike Hoffman. So, as a Canadiens fan, you're jumping for joy after this part of the trade. We also got a right-hand defenseman, which I know we're probably not trying to go all in next year. Obviously not, because we don't have the team to do that. But Jeff Petry's a right-hand defenseman. We need another right-hand defenseman to shore up the right side. So anyways, now let's get into the full details. Full details of the trade coming from Elliot Friedman. Pittsburgh acquires defenseman Erik Karlsson for Rem Pitlick, Dylan Hamlick, and San Jose's third-round draft pick in 2026. San Jose acquires Pittsburgh's 2024 first, forward Mikael Granlund, defenseman Jan Ruda, and forward Mike Hoffman. That is coming from Montreal, of course. So San Jose is acquiring a good few pieces here. Like, obviously nothing that's going to turn your franchise around, but there are NHL players and a first-round pick, which is top 10 protected. I'm kind of surprised by that. When you're acquiring a player like Erik Karlsson, you kind of expect to get like a big reward out of it, but at the same time, like, I get why it's top 10 protected. Like, there's a lot of money to move there. There was a lot of gymnastics that had to be made to go, a lot of moves that had to be made to go through with this trade. Like we said, me and Kirk did a video on it first, and Noah and Kirk also made a video on it. There's going to have to be a lot of cap gymnastics in this trade. So I know Jeff Petry is getting retained 25% by one team here. And then last but not least, Montreal acquires Pittsburgh's 2025 second-round pick, defenseman Jeff Petry. He was coming back to the team now at 25% retained, like I said, and goaltender Casey DeSmith and forward Nathan Lagar. So that is a lot. There's a lot to go over here. We'll have a video out later today on the rest of the details of this trade. But like we said, we knew Erik Karlsson. It was almost a foregone conclusion that Erik Karlsson was going to go here after all the rumors about him being traded came out in San Jose. I should say after the first year of the rumors, because there was always rumors about Erik Karlsson leaving, but we never knew where he was going to go last year. But now, after the summer, especially with a new GM and Kyle Dubas, knowing that this team has to go all in, was going to try to make a move like this, you kind of had to figure. I mean, like, the team last year, what Ron Hextall did, I didn't understand it. Nobody understood it. Mikael Granlund wasn't going to be the guy to put them over the top. You needed another guy like Letang, Malkin, and Crosby. Sure, they're still great, but they're not quite able to carry a team anymore, especially when they don't have the Marc-Andre Fleury or the prime Matt Murray, we'll call it, because I can't say if they had Matt Murray right now, they'd be doing any better. But the prime Matt Murray, they don't have that goalie that can put them over the top anymore. Tristan Jarry, maybe we'll see Tristan Jarry come back and have like a decent season next year. And like, he's always been decent in the regular season. He's just been inconsistent. That's the problem with him. But the point being, Letang, Malkin, and Crosby can't carry a team like they used to. And now you put a guy like Erik Karlsson on that team, a guy that can run the power play, he can play a lot of minutes per night, scored almost 100 points last year, if not 100 points as a defenseman. That is ridiculous. And now, yes, it is a lot of money coming up for the next 3-4 years, but Pittsburgh is only going to be relevant for the next 3 to 4 years anyway because of the situation. Like, they have to go all in. They just signed Malkin, Crosby, and Letang, 2 4 to 6 year deals. So they're going to need to go all in because once those deals are done, those players are done. Those guys are old. They're getting old, and Pittsburgh fans wanted to see another run for a Stanley Cup. I'm telling you right now, I'd love to see Sidney Crosby go on another run for a Stanley Cup. It'd be a heartwarming situation. It'd be a great way to go out for Sidney Crosby. So that's all that I have for this video, guys. We'll have another a reason that this happened later. We'll have a more in-depth video on what the lines are going to look like, what the Penguins are going to look like, what the Habs are going to look like, what the Sharks are going to look like. It's a big trade, a 3-team trade. Like we said, we knew this would have to happen. But anyway, that's it for the video, guys. Enjoy this blockbuster for now, and we'll be back with some more later. Thanks.